July. Welcome back to Stitch with Mel. I am Mel, Melissa, and it is so nice to meet so many of you. This is Flosstube number 48. It is the 4th of July, 2022, and I am feeling incredibly blessed right now. I've had so many people join over the last couple of weeks. You guys are telling me where you're coming from, so thank you so much to everybody who has given me shout outs, just friended me, befriended me, just doing this thing called life together. I am appreciative. I'm also very weepy today. It's like 10:30 or something when I'm recording this. It is July the 3rd when I'm recording this, and unfortunately the fireworks are active. So for those of you, some of you guys are catching up and you're legit sending questions and everything, so I'm not going to rehash everything. I'm not going to do a whole recap. But for those of you who don't know, mental health is my platform. I am a full-time dispatcher for the sheriff's office in my county that I live in. Before that, I was a reporter for the newspaper. While I have worked for the sheriff's office, I worked for probation and parole for 6 years. While I was there, I was trained in mental health first aid. 2 years ago, I tragically lost my home to a fire. And I am in a constant state of recovery at this point. That's just all there is to it. I've been in therapy for a year now. Diagnosed PTSD, all of the things. And it's not something that I'm crutching on. I swear to you, it is definitely something though that I stand for and with people, and I am here to help. So occasionally I'm just mushy. I was mushy long before this happened. Very sentimental, very mushy person, and it's just made things worse for people around me. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab whatever you're drinking. Usually while I'm on, I am drinking coffee. I am not an addict. I just enjoy the warmth and the sunshine that comes with it. I can drink coffee morning, noon, and night. Almost guaranteed if I'm stitching, I have coffee. It's a comfort drink. The caffeine doesn't affect me. I'm not up, all night, that kind of stuff. So I am told that it does affect my anxiety, but it's not something I'm willing to part with at this point. I have been on a carnivore diet since January the 15th. I have since lost, I don't know how much, because you can't possibly keep up with a female body when it's gaining and losing weight, because, every time anything happens, just whatever, it just shoots up just because it's fun. I can go to bed one night weighing 2 pounds less than I wake up the next morning weighing, and I'm just like, I don't understand, but whatever. So that's fun. I have had significant and successful weight loss, and I'm proud of myself for that. That's part of my mental health journey as well. I've been in the gym, taking care of myself, drinking water, doing all of the things. So technically, at this point, being 6 months in, my body is detoxed. I have not had anything except meat product, cheese, eggs, and a little creamer, because that's the only thing that I allow myself to have. I drink liquid creamer. It's 5 milligrams of whatever it is that I'm not supposed to have, carbs. As long as I stay in the single digits, my coach is happy. So he's like, you don't drink that much, and you have to have coffee to function. So I'm like, thanks. So anyways, enough about that. This is not going to be a huge video, but I do have a lot to share with you and show you. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I've gotten this week first, because I need to get off of this teary-eyed kick before I share a story with you. Whew. So I'm going to just move that on out of the way. Erica was in this week. She is my youngest. She is in college. She is working full-time at our campgrounds this summer for money for college. So she came in this weekend, and so of course we went to Target because that's what we do when she comes in. We drink coffee and we go to Target. And so I got off from work and I said, let's do a coffee date. She said, sure. We ended up at Target. My shifts are 6 a to 6 p. Target's an hour away. It was a late night. But while I was there, I got some cute binders. I got some flamingos and some unicorns and rainbows. I got these specifically for specific designers because I find myself starting to collect. Aunt Donna, it's happened. It's just happened. So I got some sheet protectors and I'm just going to start making that happen because I like to be organized. The stuff behind me, this mess that you're seeing right here, all of these are whips with a few patterns that I've kind of put in there just because I need to organize things because it's been a process. While I was there, I also got this cute little journal and it's called My Beautiful Life, and it's a guided journal for self-discovery and reflection. And so it has little prompts. Write down your personal motto, and it's got quotes all through it. Who are people that you admire and why? 2 things you're looking forward to. So I'm going to try to do better about doing this kind of stuff for the rest of the year. I have journals all over the place. I was excited to see my StitchCon journal. I was like, oh, look, another journal. I just got to use them. My therapist would love that too. He's figured out that I like to write, you know, because I was a writer. And I've always written. And so every once in a while, I'll come in and my phone's never out for a therapy session. And I'll come in and my phone's in my hand. He's like, oh, you wrote this week. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. But anyway, so I'll read him what I wrote and it's always good. It gets the conversation started. Somehow, somewhere, I can't remember if it was my Instagram or my Facebook, I started getting these notifications from this thing called, I'm assuming this is right, Till Valhalla Project. They have clothing products. They have bracelets, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. And the gist is, it says your order helps us to anonymously deliver memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, as well as enabling us to donate 20% of the proceeds toward reducing veteran suicide. I work with I think 4 veterans now. We had more, but some have retired. I think I have 4. Anyways, and I know from being in dispatch for 14 years, the impact and the need for veteran care, mental health especially. And so I saw this and I went into the shop, which of course caught my eye, and I needed everything, but I didn't get everything, of course. Hello, bills and 2 retreats back to back. This was free, and I'm not sure. I kind of want to make this into a needle minder. But I also like the fact that it's a key ring. But it just says PTSD awareness. And then I got this shirt that I think will be my workout shirt. And it says, grow through what you go through. Just a neon green. And then it's got mental health awareness. So I really like that. They had all kinds of different ones. So if you want to check that out, it is TILVALHALLA project.com, and I will try to remember to put that in the description. I'm horrible about description notes, but I'll try to remember to put that in the description. Help our veterans out. You know, it's for one thing, it's just something kind to do, and it's the 4th of July and all of the things. I did not show y'all this whenever I went through all the StitchCon stuff because it was at the bottom of the bag and I didn't see it. So apparently, whenever StitchCon started, they had a project going, and I don't really understand what was happening. But they gave out little tokens that you could create, I'm guessing, scissor fobs or zipper pulls out of all of the little tokens. But I'm going to do my own little project. But I wanted you to see what I got. This little thing here says dream. And then you got 2022 and a pair of scissors. And then you got this little clasp. And then all of these little rings. So I'm going to do something with that to commemorate StitchCon, and just because they're pretty and cute. Some people I know, when they finish a project, they put the year, you can buy them on Amazon, little bitty year tokens, and you just stitch them on so that you can show what you've done in 2022 for this year. All right. While at StitchCon, I'm still telling StitchCon stories. Why? Because it was so amazing. I have made so many friends, y'all, just from either actually spending time with people or just communicating with them. Annie Turner and I text all the time now. We were talking before, you know, we started the Quaker Christmas sale. And, you know, I commented on her shows, and I would comment on her post on Instagram, and she would comment on mine. And I mean, we share a sweet relationship. But now it's like, hey, that's the text. And I love those kinds of texts. I don't generally initiate them because I don't want to be a bother. Like, honestly, I mean, I have a weird schedule, so I don't know what everybody else's schedule looks like. So I don't want to be a bother. But I love getting a hey text, because it's like, they want my attention. I'm giving it to them, you know, and then we talk about whatever. Chrissy, same way. I mean, gosh, she's so busy with Philip, and now she's designing all the time. But you know, it's just like, drop everything and say hi once in a while. Nancy, from the Bougie Stitchers, she does the same thing. You know, she's just like, hey, what's going on? You know, just chit-chatting. And, where was I going with that story? Oh, and then there was a few people that I literally had no clue that they existed on this planet. And after, you know, we went to eat, and then we hung out at each other's tables, and then we took pictures, then we were like all best friends. And so, I don't know, we were home a couple of days from StitchCon, and I got this email from, let me get the name of her company right, because it was a company thing. I got this email from Stacy Stitch's Creative Studio, Stacy Stitch's Creative Studio. And it said, your order is on the way. And I was like, I didn't order anything. And so I texted her and I said, what did you do? And she was like, found something, just thought of you, just, you know, I wanted to send it to you. And so I waited, I think it was like a week, and I didn't know what it was. So let me show you what it was. I came home to a box. This is not a little delivery. And I was like, what did she do? So I opened the box, and the first thing I saw was this cute little card. My aunts are gonna be like, Miss A. It's okay, y'all. It's okay. We love, we don't judge. On that, I have another note about that later. Anyway, so she wrote me a sweet little note in there. That's mine. Y'all don't get to see. And then I opened the box. And I'm just going to tell you what this is, because it's a lot. So she had signed up for the Black Needle Society summer. Oh Lord, the fireworks are starting again. Summer virtual retreat. And I had gotten the autumn pattern off of the freebie table at StitchCon and was super excited about that. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get anything else out of this stuff. And so I just planned on just doing that, you know, and putting it beside my TV, and that would be cool. So she sends me her entire kit because she didn't get to do the retreat. Now, when I got to thinking about it, I started feeling bad because I think she didn't get to do the retreat because she had COVID from StitchCon. So, Stacy, I love you. I'm sorry. I don't know if that was the reason or not, but that sucks. So, what came in this kit is this cute project bag. Look at all the food. Now, if you don't know anything about any of this, what I'm showing you, it's Gilmore Girls based. Like, it's all about Gilmore Girls. And I'm obsessed with Gilmore Girls. Me and my girls, we love to watch it. I will call them and say, hey, we're watching Gilmore Girls. They'll turn on their Netflix. We'll start the episode at the same time. It's a whole thing. And isn't it cute? Okay, so that was that. That was enough, right? No. Love this. I could just mount this. I don't have to use it. I could just mount it. It says reality has absolutely no place in our world. So that's your thread organizer. Then it has this adorable recipe book. Where's my recipes? Oh, they're already out. Complete with recipe cards of actual recipes from the show. The first thing that I saw was the Rory, which was Rory's 21st birthday drink. And then there's a whole collection of not opened yet recipe cards. So I need to put those in there. There's a headband, and on it says 1,000 yellow daisies. Because Lorelai asked for 1,000 yellow daisies. There's a coffee mug from Luke's. Luke's is the diner they go to. Okay, y'all, my aunts are like, what is happening here? I think Aunt Debbie might know. Aunt Donna hasn't got a clue. There's a cute little sticker that says Kirk's because Kirk thinks that he's the star of the show. There's material. It's called Stars Hollow Blend. It's an R&R reproduction 28 count even weave. So that's beautiful. And I love 28 count. Here's the pattern. So excited. It came with 5 coloring cotton colors. We have a Love Rocket. We have I Love You, You Idiot, which is a Rory quote. We have Mom Touched the Pope. We have Ice Cream Queen. And we have Fruits de la Terre. That's like a Suki color right there. And then this cute little Ice Cream Queen scissor holder. And this needle minder is to die for. It says Official Stars Hollow Troubadour. Stoked about that. They have 2 Troubadours that walk around. You never know which one you're actually going to see, and they've actually argued over whose job it was before. And then they have a whole explanation about the retreat. So yes, I have read through that. And then they have a body wash called Hey There. It's blue spruce, juniper, pine, and warm vanilla musk. And it's taped, or I would smell it and the shock and awe for you. Stacy, thank you so much, sister. I do love you. I am so excited. I was gonna post a whole Instagram thing, but ooh, I almost got spun on under. I haven't gotten to doing the reel yet because I like to be to look nicer than this from her reels. You don't usually see me without makeup and all this stuff, but it's been a day. I was trying to take a nap before all of the noise. Had the TV drowning everything out. Mom successfully woke me up asking me how I wanted my T-bone steaks cooked or something. I don't know. I was awake after that. And then my aunt, I posted on my Instagram 2 weeks ago maybe, or maybe 3. Go back and look. It's amazing. And I need to go over there and take pictures now that she's got it stocked. My uncle got my aunt a big curio situation, not curio, hutch situation for her cross stitch. And Donna is who has gotten me into cross stitch so much. Her and Grandma taught me to cross stitch when I was 10 years old. Grandma taught me with the iron-on transfers. I did all of the fruit hand towels. And I can still see like all of that stuff. Anyway, so one day, I don't know, I went over to her house on a weekend because we stayed lots of weekends at their house. And I said, teach me to cross stitch like you do, because Grandma counted cross stitch. And she said, well, honey, it's easy. You just count. I don't know when I picked it up. I don't know how I picked it up. Somewhere, somehow, I picked up a needle and I started counting. And there it went. Aunt Donna and Grandma. Grandma did too. Believe me, she did. But Aunt Donna has taught me a lot about different methods and different techniques and different ways of doing things and how to do things right. All the things. So, anyways, after everything happened, I pretty much had to pitch everything. Nothing was salvageable. I wanted to save some things, and she was like, Missy, please let it go because your floss is ruined. Anyway, so we started all over, and she got me into Flosstube because she was like, hey, you need something to do, and here's all these great videos to watch. So I started watching, I think I started with Brenda and Laura, Pam and Steph, Chelsea and Priscilla, and then she just started adding people and adding people and adding people. And every time I go over there, I add at least one new person. And I love it. I do. And now I tell her about people like, hey, have you seen so-and-so? You really need to watch them. So it's great. So what I was going to say was she texted me, I don't know, she's putting all of her material in her hutch, and she was like, I have some pieces. I'm not going to use them. Do you want them? Well, of course. There's my material collection. I've got to go through that. So she gave me a 19 count piece of light mocha. I'm not sure who made this. It's a 14 by 24 piece. So I've never done 19 count before. It'll be fun. I love that color though. And then she gave me this beautiful blue. Please tell me there's a label on here, Aunt Donna. There's not. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a hazy blue color. What was I trying to say? It's got some variegation in it too. Love it. This is a piece of 18 count. She obviously had it cut for something. There's a very specific size to it, but I will use it for something else. And then this is a piece of 28 count. Love this color. It's more orange than it's showing up, I feel like. Very fallish. It's like a melon. That's what color it looks like. And this is another 28. I feel like that's going to be perfect for some Chrissy pieces. Alright. So I got all of that shown. Okay. So, number one, let's talk. I'm 20 minutes in, but you guys have seen some cross-stitch stuff, so you'll be fine. I want to thank you guys for the comments about last week's comment about loving each other, taking care of each other, being in the cross-stitch community, and all of the things. I did not intend that to come across as mean or cross or political. There's a mosquito in here. But just as a gesture to continue loving each other regardless. This community, you guys know, is super supportive of everything, and I'm fixing to prove that to you. So while we're going through all kinds of craziness in the world, whether it's political or religious or spiritual or just personal thoughts and effects, personal feelings, all of the anxiety and dread that goes with, you know, different situations going on in the world. The only thing I can say is be kind. I literally believe that cross-stitch is my therapy. It's part of my therapy process. This weekend at work, I hurt my foot last week. And so I don't like being down at all. After a week of pain, I went to the doctor. She x-rayed it. It's not broke. She put me in a walking boot for 2 weeks. And she was like, look, if it's not better after 2 weeks, we're going to go to an ortho. And I don't do that well. So while I had things I needed to do at work, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stitch. And if you've been with me long enough, you know, I legit do. I bust my tail for my job. They know that. But when it's long weekends and you're up there by yourself, you know, there's nothing wrong with stitching. Do your job, stitch. So, in a world where everybody's hurting and everything's crazy and nobody knows what's going on and nobody knows how to respond to another person, whether you're on social media or in real life, be kind. That was my message. Just be kind. Watch how you say things. Watch your tone of voice. Say things in love. And support each other. I read, right before I started filming actually, I read a post that said this lady, I don't know her personally, so it's fine. She said, I really didn't want to go to the store today, but I felt like I needed to go and pick up a few things. Went over to the store, went to check out, and the young lady who was checking me out was obviously struggling. So she said, I said to her, honey, are you okay? And she broke down, of course. That's not an easy question to ask in public, for one thing. So, the whole point of her post was, look, people are struggling and you don't necessarily know it unless you're paying attention. Pay attention to the people around you. Pay attention to the people online. If they're posting something that's off color, don't ask me about my post, because I'm always posting motivational or struggle pieces. You're going to make it through, so I'm okay. I do appreciate the love and text, though. But pay attention to the people that you're interacting with, because you may see something that they're not saying. So, be kind. I love you. Take care of each other. We have stitchers who are creating, and we have stitchers who are designing all kinds of things that express their thoughts and their feelings about all kinds of topics. Design what you want to design. Stitch what you want to stitch. If you don't like something, go to another one. There are millions of patterns. Not thousands. Not hundreds of thousands. Millions of patterns. There's something out there for you. And if you're struggling, just ask me, and I'll look through all of my books and magazines, and I'll send you something pretty and nice. Or you can just spend your $5 somewhere else. That's all you gotta do. Just skip over what you don't like. It's okay. Don't question somebody else for what they're feeling. It's not their responsibility to validate their feelings to you. Okay, enough on that. I love you. So I asked Steph if I could share this story from StitchCon. Gone, not over it. I'm not. They created such an experience. Stephanie, I love you. Pam, I love you. Kim, I love you. Whole team, y'all did phenomenal. Okay? This girl changed forever. All right. So there was an event at StitchCon that was brought about by an attendee. Every StitchCon, from my understanding, they pick a service project. And from my understanding, Keepsakes is very involved in their community. They are like a little suburb part of Cincinnati. It's not like, you know, they're right smack dab in the middle of Cincinnati. They're up here somewhere. I couldn't find it if I wanted to. It took MapQuest, Google Maps, and everything else. So the community that they live in is where they invest their time and their money. And from everything that Steph has ever told me, her boss is very, very passionate about the community, which is, of course, leaked into her team. I mean, everybody is. So they brought in a lady when you first walked into StitchCon, you know, you saw all of the things, and there's a big quilt, and it's beautiful. But there's a big quilt hanging, and so then there's an information thing about it, whatever. I missed it. I wasn't there. But this lady has created what she calls the Cincy Book Bus. And so she goes around, she gets brand new books, and she takes them to students in the school districts, which is awesome. And so they were there to raise money for that. So you were getting raffle tickets. You're gonna, you know, they're gonna auction off this quilt. They're gonna do the raffle things and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I've been in fundraising for 15, 16, 17 years. Raffles and auctions were not my thing. I didn't do it. So they hear the spiel, they do the things. Teresa Kirby with Needle Bling Designs is there at StitchCon A. She approaches Kim and Steph and says, I have an idea. They say, okay, cool, what's up? And she says, I want to donate, I believe there's a yard of material, her design. I want to donate it and you guys auction it. And Steph's like, I don't know how to auction. I can't auction. She's like, we'll figure it out. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So she announces it. I went, oh, this is going to be fabulous, because I have been at events where auctions happen. And I mean, it can get crazy fast because people get excited. They're invested in it. They want to be involved in it. And so it goes very well. Very well. Okay, first off, Stitchers are just compassionate people. We are. So I'm sitting in the back. I am not prepared financially. This is not fixing to happen for me, but I'm going to sit back there and I'm going to cry the whole time. And I did. I did. Pull yourself together, Melissa. You have a story to tell. Okay, so Steph says, I stood up there and I started at $2. And she did. We're going to start this auction at $2. Who gives me $2 for this yard of material? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful. I forget what color it was. It was beautiful. $2 here, $4 here. Steph says, I know this is fixing to take forever. And I watched it happen. And I teared up. And the people around me, I'm not going to tell y'all who was around me. It wasn't just my table mate, so don't judge. People around me were like, are you kidding me? Really? Whoa. And I was like, they don't get it. They do not get it. Somebody says $20. I said, there it goes. There it goes. The room took off. Before it was said and done, I watched the hands go up. And I'm watching people who I know are legit invested. Like, they're creators, they're designers, they're people who invest in their community. 200? 300? It stopped at $475 for a yard of fabric. Steph and Pam were talking about it this week's video. Pam says $475 for a yard of fabric. Steph goes, for the kids. That's legit. We were told not to say a word. Coffee. We were asked not to post it. We were asked not to talk about it. Let this be a surprise to Weekend B. I don't know. I'm sure there was a leak somewhere. I didn't leak it, I promise. We were told not to say a word. I am not going to be able to handle this. Are y'all tired of me crying on my videos yet? Weekend B happened. Steph says, and I quote, Weekend B went nuts. So, Fortnite Fabrics, Derek and Christian, unfortunately, they did not make it. I think they were sick. They donated a yard of fabric. Same thing. We want to participate. We're not there, but handle it. Steph says, bet. Gets up, starts the auction. I wasn't there. I didn't get to see this one. I don't think I would have made it. I think Steph says at one point, Barb is propping herself up against the back wall. There's a wall behind them, behind the podium, and she's propped herself up against it. She was like, I think she was supporting herself before she passed out. Their fabric went for $575. Gary says there were people screaming and jumping up and down, and I think he said crying all over the place. Gary from Garon. I see that. I do. Steph says, I take this piece of gold to the lady who bought, I think it was a lady, who bought the material, and she looks at Steph, the person who purchased it, she looks at Steph and she says, the money's good, you've got the money, take it back and re-auction it. Steph's like, what? What do you mean? She's like, I'm giving you $575. Take the material back to the podium, auction it again. Steph takes it back up there. She's like, look, this is what just happened. We're doing this again. Gary says the place went crazy. I can see that. Y'all, I would have been in the floor squalling. I don't think I could have made that. I was fighting the whole bawling scenario at our weekend. There was tears, and I would hear comments, and I just you don't get it. You just don't get it. I heard somebody say, oh, wow, I bet their husband's going to get them. That kind of stuff. I was like, no, people really are this kind in real life. The second auction, the piece of material went for $600. That's a total of $1,175. But there's more. Pam and Steph are doing their thing later on in the night. I don't know what they were doing. Probably trying to clean up a little bit. Probably trying to collect their thoughts, because that just happened. They just raised $1,200 for books for kids in their community. Perfect strangers from all over the world are donating money to their community. Amazing. So the lady who won the second auction called Steph over. Hey, come here. She's like, yeah, what's going on? So I don't stitch on this count. When she said that, my heart stopped. I was like, don't tell me they're fixing to auction it again. I can't handle this much pressure. So when she said that, I was like, what? So Steph says, Steph and Pam together, they're both telling the story. They said it was 32 count material, and she doesn't stitch on it. So she told Steph and Pam, Here's what I need you to do. You each stitch a project on this yard of material. You stitch whatever. Send it to me. Give me your stitch project. And I'll double my donation. That's $1,200 for a yard of material. Steph was like, done. Pam's like, I already know what I'm going to stitch on it because we discussed what she likes. And they're going to finish it. You know, they're going to have it all ready for her, obviously. So that piece of material brought $1,200 from one person plus the $575. Stitchers love people. I did better than I thought I would. That's the kind of community that we're in, guys. That's the kind of community that takes care of each other and loves each other. Doesn't know a single person, walks into a room full of 300 people, makes best friends, goes home, and is still talking to people 2 weeks later and still talking about the event 2 weeks later. That's the kind of people who check up on people because 60 attendees to your event of 300 people ended up sick and you're still texting each other, making sure that you're okay. That's the kind of people who say, I just need ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. We love each other. We take care of each other. I love you guys. That's why I'm here. I don't do the stitch video. I do the stitch videos for me, but I just want to share love. I just want to give you some hope. In the middle of the night, when all kinds of mess is happening, whatever, if you're stitching because you're alone or, you know, something's going on at home and you just need some peace, find me. I'll give you my number. Text me. I have people regularly checking on me because of my post, because I post real posts. Because the fact of the matter is, we live in a sick world with a lot going on. And sometimes people forget that other people exist in the same world with a lot going on. And they're struggling. Some people watch the news, some people don't. Some people are scared, some people aren't. Everybody's struggling in their own way with something. And so all it takes is a little kindness just to change things. So let me be part of that. I'm here for it. I got some whips. I wrote the story on the back of a bill. I texted Steph and I was like, can I share that story? And she was like, sure, absolutely. I forget what she said. Something about absolutely, I'm sure. It was a one-worded answer, whatever. And I was like, I am not going to make it through that story at all. So imagine what a difference that one person, $1,200, could make in books to kids who don't have books. We could be responsible for the next president of the United States. We could be responsible for the next doctor who discovers the cure to cancer. Because we get books to kids who don't have anything. Barb, Steph, Pam, you're literally changing lives in Cincinnati. Thank you. StitchCon Sal is a thing. I believe it was started with a conversation in StitchCon A. I believe. I'm not certain, but I believe. So, I joined. I am not normal. Y'all know, I don't ever use the recommended material. The only recommended material that I have ever followed, is my Celtic Spring. And that's because I handed it to her and I was like, do all the things, and she completely kitted it for me. So I'm using Color and Cotton Pearwood. That's where I've gotten so far. Now, those letters for StitchCon are amazing, and that may just happen tonight. We'll see. It's late, but, you know, the popping sounds are still going, so I'm going to have to turn on the TV after this. I am using the called for DMC because that I do. I am just not creative enough to change all of my colors. There are times when I'll change, I don't really like that color, so I'm going to change it. But I'm not going to do a whole changeover. That's never going to happen. I tried one time. I didn't have the blues that they called for, so I used the, you know, the whole search thing. If you don't have this DMC, then this one close to it. And then I unkitted it. It'll never be the same again. That's a width that I may never see again. I'm going to have to start that over. It is Jolly July, July stitching, Christmas in July, whatever you guys call it. I'm doing July, Christmas in July, Jolly July for my hashtags. So I brought Santa's Visit back out. This is a Mike Vickery piece from Crazy for Cross Stitch episode something. January 2002, number 68. I said episode. That is beautiful. And so, while texting Annie today, I got the moon put in, and then I got all of this stitch. I had the gold already done, but I put in this very light color. All of that. So, why am I skipping all around it? I don't know. Why don't I just put the sleigh in? I don't know. It's beautiful. I need to. We'll see what happens, because I really want to finish this month. I got goals. I'm going to be with Annie and Kim and Ashley and whoever else is going to the Stitch Etc. retreat at the end of the month. And Annie says we're working on Christmas. Specifically Quaker Christmas. She texted me last week and she said, you totally called me out. I did. I was like, we haven't stitched on Quaker Christmas. Okay. So, y'all know that I am doing a model stitch for Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. And she says I can show her stuff, but I really don't want to because I want it to be a surprise. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I've got so far in a hint. I'm going to do it in a hint. Chrissy loves mice. Look at this. I'll show you more later. I always want to check with her and make sure that everything's cool before I show you, but there's a mouse and a blender. And I wanted to get started on the night before Christmas. That's her piece. It didn't happen. I can't show you this at all, but this is my retreat piece, and I did work on it. You'll get to see it later. Okay, so some of y'all wonder what happened to summer camp in June. I quit. I did not make it. Everything with the leg happened. I got off on my counting. It was bad. I will finish this because it is a very, very cute piece, but that's where I got to. I got all of the blue in. I got his little jacket in. I got some of the flag in. Some of the house. I got the little... And on it, I can't figure out why the rabbit's on a... What is that? Is it like a cart? Like, we don't know what's happening there. But anyway, so this is American Primitive by... I knew that, Teresa Kogut. It'll be finished. It's too cute not to finish. I just didn't get it done for summer camp. I got in there, y'all. I was being silly and doing all of the interactive things, and then I quit. I felt horrible. I finished June Butterfly today at work. He is very hot. Or I say she, because I don't know if the butterfly is a he or she. Look at those hot colors. That was the coolest day right there. And then there's yesterday and today. Or, no, Friday and yesterday. When I stitched it, it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and the high's usually around 2 o'clock. So I didn't have it yet. Ooh, where did I lose? I don't know where that came from. Okay. Plans this week. My plan is to work on my model stitching. I keep rocking y'all, I'm sorry. My model stitching to hopefully get it done. This coming weekend is my weekend off. I don't have any plans. I'm working through Thursday this week. So I'll get some stitching done tomorrow, I'm sure. It's a holiday, so it'll be pretty chill at the office. So I want to finish my model stitching. And then I'm going to talk to her about if she wants me to FFO it or if I'm sending it back to her to FFO. I'm just not that much of a finisher. But I do know that the other pieces that she's had done, they've FFO'd for her. Oh my gosh, y'all. Go check out Finally a Farm Girl on Etsy. She released Jeremiah the Bullfrog and I think another Matilda this week. And they're so cute. Jeremiah's adorable. Her friend Linda model stitched him. And then I'm gonna work on Quaker Christmas. Challenge accepted, Chrissy. Or not Chrissy. Chrissy didn't do it. Annie. And then I'm gonna work on Chrissy's 'Twas Not Before Christmas piece. And Santa's Visit. I need to pull out the Fat Quarter Shop piece that I was working on forever. I need to put some in that. I don't know why that thing's so hard for me to work on, but it is. It's got some pretty colors in it. Okay, so that's my plans. And I need to finish my retreat piece too, so that won't be too bad. So those are my plans. I do think that I'm going to go back to doing weekly. It motivates me and kind of just keeps me inspired. And then I just kind of want to keep in check with you guys. So there's a lot going on. I've met so many people over at StitchCon. Everybody's doing, you know, different schedules. Some are doing monthly, some are doing every 2 weeks, some are doing weekly. So there's no real rules. But, you know, when you have different tastes and different things going on, you kind of want to, you know, share the love. Show what's going on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end. We're just short of an hour, so hopefully you've gotten some stitches in. Hopefully you haven't cried all over your pieces like I would have. So my inspirational quote for this week is: use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. If you need me, holler at me. If you just want to chat, holler at me. If you are an Instagram or Facebook messenger person, that's perfectly fine. If you're like, hey, I don't do all that, I'm going to text you, that's perfectly fine too. So take care of yourselves. Do all of the things. Stitch all the things. Drink all the coffee and tea that you need. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.